perfect abomination.
All right, let's see here. Let me change my camera. There we go. We'll just get started. What's up, Sturm? There we go. All right, so I was just thinking, I've been working on the 11th layer of this cube. I think I have enough rings left. It's going to be close. I may have, you know, a couple of, I may have one side that isn't completed all the way, but I do plan on ordering more rings for it at some point and making it larger. But as I was sitting here working on that, I was like, what am I going to work on tonight? And I've got these really cool niobium rings. And this black and stainless steel. I'm not going to combine them. But there is this Turkish round male bracelet we had the other day that I finished up. I need to add a clasp to it, but it's like 7 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 inches with a clasp. It's not bad size for a bracelet. It'll fit most people. I have small, effeminate wrists, so this will fit most women. If you're a burly man, it won't fit you. But I also have this niobium and this black and stainless that we were working on the last couple nights. This sheet of elf weave, it looks super cool. It's like a board, right? I don't have as much flex as I want in order to continue with this weave. So I'm gonna move on to something else with that. It does, I made a little piece of 4-in-1. Let's see here. Right, it does make a nice 4-in-1. But I was like, oh, I made this Turkish round male bracelet. I bet that these niobium and the black and stainless steel would make some nice round male. So Robert, thank you for the follow. One more on our way to 10,000. So I have a lot of green, a bit of blue, and a little bit of pink and purple. Fuchsia or magenta. What color's magenta? I don't know. Right? So do I just mix them all up into one pile and select rings randomly and weave them together? I think that's the best option. Just mix them all up, and then, I mean, clearly the bulk of it's going to be green, right? But it'll have smatterings of blue, pink, and purple in there. I don't know. Or should I do it, keep them separate, and then do it by sections? Warrior Squirrel! I like that username. Makes me think of Redwall. Thank you for the follow. One of the reasons I'm here, one of two reasons I'm here, is because of Redwall, and the other reason is because of my uncle. Right. Now let's see here. These look a little thin. These look like they're 22 gauge. Huh. We're not going to be able to use those. I mean, we could. It would just look, it would look wonky. It would be wrong of me to do that. Hi, Warrior Squirrel. How are you doing tonight? So we'll have to come up. We'll have to come up with a different use for a tiny amount of fuchsia niobium rings. But the rest of them, I think that kind of decides it. I think the rest of them we should just dump in a pile and select rings at random. If I could get this small bag open, there we go. All right, here goes nothing. I'm not sorting these back out, so. However long this ends up being, whatever selection process the rings end up in, I'm not going to organize it. I'm going to do a solid mix, and however this piece comes out is how it comes out. Now, it is 20 gauge niobium. You've never read that, but you have heard of it. So it's written by Brian Jakes, and he started a storyline and continued it on for multiple books. This looks like silver. It might be aluminum, but it looks like silver. So we'll pull that ring out. And it's about mice and woodland creatures like badgers and squirrels and voles, and the first book they all live in an abbey together. And I learned later on in life that he has all these fantastic descriptions of food, like all different kinds of food, right? And I learned later on in life that he wrote it so that blind kids could listen to it and have this just wonderful description of food. I was like, I did not know that. And I have a lot of the series, but little warrior mice and woodland creatures who they fight off a horde of rats and hordes of vermin, and it's a good book. But I read multiple books, but up to the fifth book. The fifth book is Salamandastron, and it's about a badger, and he lives in a volcano, and he throws herbs on a fire and has visions. And I didn't understand that at the time, but later in life I realized that, oh, he's doing drugs in a volcano, and then he makes weapons. Okay. So it's a great kids book. So I read that and I was like, oh, I want to be a blacksmith when I grow up. That sounds super cool. I want to be a badger throwing herbs on a fire and having visions and then making weapons when I grow up. And then the other reason I'm here is because my uncle was making chainmail in front of me one day and I was like, holy cow, that's awesome. I want to do that too. And I was 14 at the time, and here I am, 41. So reverse those numbers. This is gonna look cool. I'm just gonna throw these rings randomly in together. I don't want to make captive inverted round. I want to make there we go. So all right. I'm liking this already. I don't make a lot of round mail. I'm very famous. I suppose I'll have to go get it off the window ledge. I'm very famous for the round mail chainmail dog turd sculpture. It's a brass and bronze round mail piece, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a dog turd. Hey Jeep and Jamber, how you doing, buddy? You'll be mildly interacting here and there till the Excedrin kicks in. You got a headache? That's no bueno. All right. So how's everybody? How is words are hard already? How's everybody's Veterans Day weekend going? I myself had a Penny L Pride. Thank you for sharing. I had a productive weekend. I got the garage cleaned out a little bit. I got the house cleaned today. And I got a little bit of work done on this cube this morning, and I was just working on the 11th row, and I've got the corners here on either side, and then this side, and then I'm done. And I think I have enough rings for it. Oh, don't do that. Alright. Trying to remember how to work with 20 gauge rings. These ring size is 20 gauge 1/8. And they're very small compared to what I'm used to. I've done a lot with 20 gauge 1/8. But not recently. Not recently at all. All right. It's a migraine. I don't know. You get them frequently. You're usually able to handle it, but today is out to get you. Yeah, I understand that. I've got a prescription of Imitrex for that. So round mail is it's a fairly basic beginner weave, and it looks like a rope. And here's a crazy thing, right? There are some very difficult weaves to make. There's a weave called pencil weave. It's very difficult to make. There's a weave. It's called, the basic weave is called JPL 3-in-1. But I think I've seen people go as high as 11-in-1, which gets ridiculous. But it's JPL 3-in-1, 5-in-1, 7-in-1, 9-in-1, and 11-in-1, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. So it gets more complex. People have a hard enough time with JPL as a standalone weave, right? It's kind of a difficult one to grab right away. But round mail and box weave and Byzantine and half Persian 3-in-1 and 4-in-1. Some people have trouble on those, on the Persians, but they're all fairly beginner friendly. And they're also abnormally really popular from my experience, right? People will see a box weave chain and go, oh, that's really cool. And I'm like, but this, what's the weave? It's, this Farrar's Cade weave over here is a lot more technically advanced and difficult, and it's cooler. Honestly, it's cooler. You should think that's cool, but no, that people love the basic stuff. I would say in bulk, people love the basic stuff. Right? Like, not in bulk, that's the wrong word. A large portion of the bell curve of humanity likes the basic chainmail weaves. Right? And round mail is just a good one to throw out there tonight. So you'll be, if anybody gets involved in chainmail, right, and you learn all these basic weaves, and you learn more advanced weaves, and you create stock, and you go and set up a booth somewhere, don't be surprised if people really enjoy your simple stuff versus some of the more technically complex weaves. You've never attempted Persians or Byzantine? I mean, Byzantine's super easy. The Persians are slightly more difficult, but... Alright. So this... Let me pull up TikTok here. We got some blue, green, and purple on this round mail here. And that doesn't seem to want to translate well across camera. See if we have some contrast to it. That's a little better. There's a little bit of color in these rings. It's not it's anodized niobium, right? So it's shiny. Typically, anodized titanium is not this shiny. You have a lot more matte colors with anodized titanium. But niobium, super shiny. Anodized aluminum, it's pretty shiny. Alright, where am I on here? Yeah, this camera, just using my camera, or my phone as a camera thing has got to go. I need... Maybe I need to adjust the lighting. Maybe there's too much white light in here. I don't know. Isn't there a 6-in-1 round weave? You can make round mail with European 6-in-1. Right, but round mail is just box weave with a extra couple of rows turned around on itself. I don't work with a lot of color. So this is fun. This is a nice change for me. It's almost all stainless steel. Some titanium here and there, but the bulk of everything I've made over the years has been stainless steel. So here, this makes me think of a Mardi Gras necklace. With the blue and the green and the purple, it looks like Mardi Gras beads. So I have never been to Mardi Gras. I was stationed in Louisiana for a few years. And so I got to Louisiana after Mardi Gras. And then I deployed and we got back after Mardi Gras. And we got hit by Katrina and Rita back in the early 2000s. And the 9th Ward was flooded and gone. So the following year, there wasn't... I don't know if there was a Mardi Gras celebration or not, but like New Orleans was still deep into recovery from the 2 hurricanes. So we got back from deployment, got hit by a hurricane. We were out of power for like 5 or 6 days, something like that. On a military base. It was so much fun. And in Louisiana during the summertime. So it's 10,000% humidity with, you don't have any air conditioning. It was literally awful. Satan's armpit. With alligators. Or crocodiles, or whatever the hell they have down there. It's alligators, right? The American alligator. Just like Arizona. What happened in Arizona? They get hit by a hurricane, have their power out. I know that Acapulco got leveled recently. It's like, here's this tropical storm roaming along, and then right as it was about to hit land, it turned into some kind of... or it turned into a Category 5 hurricane. And landed and just leveled a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, Arizona's Satan's armpit? Yeah. Arizona. I'm trying to think. I've been to Phoenix, Arizona. It was a dry heat. So it was like 125 degrees on the concrete. So the difference between Phoenix and Louisiana is the humidity. Iraq is hot. It's a really hot place, right? 120s, dusty, windy, no vegetation to speak of, really. Some scrub grass, that's about it. So you'd get giant dust storms, which is kind of cool. So you think when on a really foggy morning and you got like no visibility, right? It's that, but with dust. But you know, it's hot, but it's dry. And sure, you sweat a lot. But you know, that's because you're moving around during the daytime. I think most of the people, they're only moving around mornings and evenings that live there. But Louisiana, with the humidity, that's a killer, man. It's like I'll take dry heat over humidity any day. This is cool. So round mail, some weaves have difficulty, like this captive inverted round, right? This, if you bent this, you're gonna break open all the rings, right? It would just force itself apart. This round mail, right? It'll almost fold up on itself. It's a nice flexible weave. Byzantine's really flexible most of the time. It can get tight, but usually it's really flexible. Full Persian is like this captive inverted round. It's stiff. You used to get stuck walking around in dust storms all the time, so frequent you used to carry dust storm specific stuff in your backpack everywhere you went. In Arizona? Dude, that's crazy. So I've never been in a dust storm in the States. I've been through hurricanes, I've been through tornadoes. Not tornadoes. Been through hurricanes. I guess so not being through a dust storm isn't really that unique. I'm trying to think. I've been near an earthquake when I was very young. Been near an avalanche when I was skiing. But I didn't go through it, right? We had a tornado in Texas on the other side of town. So I've been near a tornado. I've never been through one, though. But I've been through 3 hurricanes. And Andrew? One of the ones that went up the East Coast, and I got hit while I was in Maryland. And then Katrina and Rita down in Louisiana. You could say I'm an old pro, but I don't want to be. That ring is too pointy. You had a shemagh and goggles and a jacket that was like a canvasy material for the dust. Alright. Yeah, we just shut everything down when we had dust storms in Iraq. Right. You'd still have to go to work and whatnot, but right, we weren't running trucks or anything. This is starting to show a little bit more of itself. Let's see if I can Right? Like it's just this rope of chainmail. It'll make a nice necklace. I think we have plenty of rings here to make a necklace. James Phillips, thanks for the follow. It was like sandpaper without a jacket. Found that out the hard way, yeah. So I did get to cross off one thing on my honey-do list. There was this sign for DeKalb corn that my wife's friend picked up at a thrift shop, and it's a specific type of branded corn. And we live in the Midwest, so there's corn everywhere. And it goes along, they'll put a bunch of them up along a field to let everyone know what type of corn it is. And so we had this sign. We've had it for forever. We've had it since we lived down in Texas. We had it down there, but we never put it up. And it was on a shelf in my garage, and it had slid down behind the back of the shelf. And I was like, you know what? I'm cleaning out the garage and I'm getting stuff done. Let me go ahead and hang this sign up. And I took one nail and I hung the sign up. It's like, all right, it only took me 17 years. Well, I don't think we've had the sign that long, but did I update the slideshow? I haven't updated it yet. I've been cleaning the house and getting stuff done all day. I will have time, probably sometime this week, to sit down and do computer stuff. I've got a vet appointment tomorrow for my dog. Trying to get him potty trained. Gonna take him to the vet and get him chipped and I've got an appointment on Tuesday. I didn't fast last week for my fasting labs, and so I've got to go and get my blood drawn without any coffee, without anything to eat, very early in the morning. And the trick is I have to remember to do it. I have the alarm on my phone, but every now and then you spot a picture you haven't seen. There's a lot of pictures in there already. I think it has the bulk of everything I've done. I don't know. But I did just get a bunch of pictures off of the... What is it? Off my old Dell. So I'm sure there's some in there that aren't in the slideshow. Come on. So this is exciting. I don't have a lot of pictures of me in Iraq, right? 2004, we didn't have cell phones the way they are now. We didn't have cameras on them. Yeah. Actually, okay, so it's not true. I can have caffeine. I can drink some black coffee before I go and have my fasting labs done, right? And that does not sound like a good time to me, right? I'm not quite a Starbucks Frappuccino Vanilla Latte drinker, but I can have black coffee. I can't have creamer. So it'll be fine. I'll survive. I just have to remember to do it so that my doctor stops bothering me about it. So I was digging up pictures on the laptop and I found a bunch of pictures of me in Iraq. Not a bunch, like 4. Whereas before, I only had 1. So, and I think they're all from, let me check here. No, okay. They're almost all from my first deployment. Sugar-free energy drinks? No, I can't tell you the last time I had an energy drink. But here's the fun part about going to get my blood drawn, right? It's the VA, so they told me, they scheduled my appointment for the afternoon, and the receptionist told me, oh, just come in between 8 and 11 and have your blood drawn. The phlebotomist will be able to do it. Right? And I know 100% that there's going to be people with appointments that morning who I have to wait until they're done. And I'm going to get attitude from the phlebotomist for showing up not at my appointment time. I already know that's going to happen because that's what happens every time this happens. But I'll get in, I'll get it done, and it's my fault for not fasting the first time around. And at least I have health care now. You cut soda and energy drinks with sugar a few years ago? Yeah, I drink water almost. Okay, so I drink coffee until like noon, and then I drink water the rest of the day. I drink a ridiculous amount of water. So I'll have a soda with, like if we grab some fast food or whatever, but there is way too much sugar in those things for me to drink them like I used to. And to be quite frank about it, like my stomach cannot handle that much crap. It's like I turned 35 and my stomach said no more. Come on. It's always awkward coming back from a long pause. I was sitting here thinking, okay, what do I talk about next? I need to think of something to say. And then I just didn't think of anything and just let the silence continue there for a minute. It's like, I am not a talkative person. And coming on here and streaming is the bulk of my social life, right? I did go and say hello to the neighbors. He had his hood up in his driveway and was just changing the oil in his vehicle, right? Just fine. You know, but clearly he needs supervision, and so I went over to supervise and watch the way a good neighbor does. But that's like the most social interaction I've had in a while. I get almost all of it from here. So I'm not used to talking, and I don't know if I ever really have been used to talking about like how things have gone throughout the day or the week or whatever. Making small talk. I'm not used to making small talk. You get about a gallon of water every day? Yeah. That's good. Keeps your kidneys on their tiptoes. Yeah, I did. I walked over and had a chat with the neighbor, and oh man, he was a Navy guy, so we swapped some war stories, and he was just changing the oil on his car. He's very impressive. He knows how to reset the change the oil reminder doohickey on his car. I was like, wow. I can't do that. Lemonade is supposed to be good for your kidneys as well. Lemonade's great for your kidneys, right? Right? Someone tell me that that's true. I don't know. Things that are bad for your kidneys. High amounts of pressure. So when you have high blood pressure, it injures your kidneys because your kidneys have really small blood vessels in there, and too much pressure can damage them. Right? So you want low blood pressure and low pressure in your loops of Henle. Right? Lemonade might diurese. You know, it might help you process urine and stuff, but lemons contain citrate, which help prevent calcium from building up and forming stones. Interesting, the benefit doesn't seem to be present in oranges, making lemon a unique tool in kidney prevention. John, you are just so full of information. I've never heard that about lemons. But I tell you what, I don't want kidney stones. Knock on wood. Your service reset is one button to push and hold till you hear a beep. It's even... Oh, really? Mine's not. I know how to reset the tripometer, the trip meter. I can reset that when I fill up on gas, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of cars with, you know, computers in them in general. We've got that's when I had to stop working on cars. It's like, all right, I don't know what all these wires do, and you know, it's the meme. My car needs a new headlight. I have tried. I will attempt to replace the headlight myself. And then the last slide is, my car no longer starts. So, your favorite midnight snack is wilted green fresh lemon squeezed on it with mushrooms and seared chunks of steak. But you're a second shift guy, so steak at 2 a.m. is a must. Nice. Second shift. Yeah, I gave up working abnormal hours a long time ago. I do not do that. Lemons, greens, and mushrooms are all health foods your doc says eat more of. Do you trust your doctor? I've been in the medical field a long time. I can count on one hand the number of doctors I trust. But of course you do. I'm sure you do. Everybody should trust their doctor. I'm sure lemons, mushrooms, and greens are healthy for you. I love mushrooms. Oh, you work second shift and you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off? That's not terrible. You don't really trust your doc? You had it for 2 years? Fair enough. Come on. Do the thing. There you go. Go in your home. Come on. All right, one Mardi Gras niobium round male necklace coming right up. Oh man. You don't trust your mom's doctor? She's very adamant that you make her doctor your primary. You won't do it because you don't trust her. Yeah, I don't trust either of my doctors. I've told them that. It's like I have been a nurse for, so what year is it? 2023? 19 years now, and I don't. I discuss a whole lot. I think I'm a challenging patient for them because we go back and forth on a lot of things. One of the reasons I have to get my blood, my fasting lab test done is because my doctor wants to put me on a lipid medication. I forget what it's called right now. Very common for cholesterol. And I'm like, yeah, no, my cholesterol isn't that high. And that medication has way too many side effects for me to ever agree being put on it. It's a very common medication. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I want to say it begins with an H, right? But this is what happens when you don't work in your field for 2 years. You forget simple stuff. I'd recognize it right away, but I don't want to take medication for hyperlipidemia. All right. What else? I might even make a round male necklace out of this black and stainless steel. We'll have 2 round male necklaces, just for fun. I think that's a good option. And these rings are pretty quality. So I can go ahead and make a finished product for sale with them once I'm done, as opposed to like this cube, which is the rings are crap and I just wanted to use up the rings in a project, right? Or like the rings in this sphere, I just used them up, right? They're good. These titanium rings, can't use these titanium rings, or can't sell them really, because they're all discolored. If I am successful at anodizing this cube is wonky, right? It doesn't jelly the way it's supposed to, and it's the one side is narrower than the other, and it's weird, right? So that's kind of, can't sell that. But these niobium rings, doesn't seem to be anything wrong with them. I mean, it's strong enough for a necklace, you know. Niobium's not super tough, but when you put enough rings together, they tend to be quite strong. So So I can polish this bracelet up, and then I'll have a round male stainless steel necklace, a niobium necklace, and that'll go in the for sale pile. Typically, I'm not making stuff for sale on here. I am just trying to use up all these rings in my basement and move on to projects with planned projects that I have rings for, or planned projects that I can then buy the correct rings for. All right. So it's a nice change. Because I have some plans. So I don't like to vend or set up booths or travel. But I do like to make stuff and sell it and make money. It helps fund my habit. So I have some ideas in mind for things to sell. I was talking with John earlier. You have plans well, but they require the monies? Yeah. Mine too. My plans require monies too. Something I'm lacking in. But I was talking with John earlier, and I don't want to do any of the vending or booth setting up stuff because the people that I know that do it, you can see the stress in their posts and how much pressure they're under to get to all these events and set up and take down and worry about getting screwed on your booth fees and worrying about how many people are going to show up for the show. And I don't want that headache. So, but I'm going to make stuff for sale. So I might do like once a year, I might do the farmer's market or something here in town. How you have plans? Or if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, it's money, not money. I have Kingdom Hearts. Is it on Xbox? Is that what it's on? Or PlayStation 3? I have it. I have a friend who was very big into it. He convinced me to purchase it, and I never played it. Not once. It's like my PS5 is quickly becoming like my Xbox 360. PlayStation till Kingdom Hearts 3, then it's on both. Nice. It's like I had an Xbox 360. I played Halo on it. And Fable. Those were the two games on there. That was it. That was almost all I ever used it for. We streamed Netflix on it for a little bit. But it was, yeah. It works well. It's not hooked up to a TV anymore, but, you know, I have it, and it works fine. So I'll just, I don't know, keep it in storage or whatever for forever. because I have Xbox 360 games, but I got a PS5 connected to the TV, and you know, I'm. What's the next game? I got the PS5 to replay Final Fantasy VII, and to play God of War. Right? So, I've got those on there. And there's a couple other games people have recommended to me. But there is rumor of a new Fable coming out. Fable 4. And that's one of the very few game franchises where I've played all the games. You couldn't get into Fable as much as you wanted to? Don't know why I couldn't keep your attention? Interesting. I'm terrible at playing games, right? Oh, Skyrim, right? I've got that on my PS5 that I want to play as well. This day and age still seems behind the times of your high school years. You have always been a PC user, as every game is built on one. So that's where you were at on the console wars. PC easier, cheaper to upgrade than buying a new PlayStation or Xbox. Every time it upgraded, never had to worry about backwards compatibility. Yeah, you special PC player. That's one of those things that was it really viable until like Steam came out, right? Like Steam was where everybody gets access to the games on PlayStation and Xbox. You loved using your TV as a PC monitor for years before they made smart TVs that are crappy wannabes versus a real PC. Yeah. I grew up on PlayStations and Xboxes and not PCs. So I have built 2 computers and they work just fine. I could probably use them for gaming. But I'm old and technology eludes me, and let me put it this way. I downloaded the first version of World of Warcraft on my wife's laptop for my son to play. And he and I sat there and went through the first and second missions together and had a little fun. But that was that. Beyond Solitaire, that was the only other game I played on computer, and I didn't even have it. It wasn't my computer that I played it on. It was at my friend's house. He introduced me to the first version of World of Warcraft, and then I never played another game on a computer ever since. Since '93, like retro games and emulators and stripping controllers down to attach them to a PC before they made USB clones. Nowadays, even Bluetooth ones that's why they're cracking down on them and making secure systems only. Yeah, Xbox, you can only play with their controller. There's no third party anymore. I've never played Crisis Core. Age of Empires was the game you lived on for way too long. I've heard of Age of Empires. I have never played it. I played Solitaire and the pinball game when we had a computer growing up. But my brother was the one who liked computers. I didn't like computers until I was older. Right? Just like I used to like books. I used to enjoy reading immensely growing up. And then as I got after college and high school ruined reading enjoyment for me, I have gained a fondness for computers and like building them and technological advancements and things like that. Crisis Core takes place before or after Final Fantasy VII. I've never even heard of it. Somewhere I have like an in the box Final Fantasy 12 tin collector thing. I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll get that." It's for PlayStation. Never opened it, never played it. Knights of the Old Republic, never played it. Own it, never played it. Told it's really good. You know why? You know why I never played it? And why I don't have a lot of video game experience? Because my dumbass has been sitting here doing this shit for forever. So, you know what? Screw this. I quit. I'm going to go play video games. I'm just kidding. I do need to find another game. Tears of the Kingdom was great. I love playing that. Gotta go finish it. So I'm going to finish that and then pick up another game. Poor excuse? What? That I was otherwise occupied? With, projects and stuff? John, that's the second time you've told me today that I've had poor excuses. Knights of the Old Republic is really good too. Yeah, released on Xbox One. You played video games and do this. Man up and give up sleep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, dude. See, here's the thing. Right? Like, I couldn't have given up sleep because I wasn't sleeping, at least for the last 15 years. It's only recently that I've started sleeping again when I got the diagnosis of severe sleep apnea. And, if you don't start breathing while you're asleep, you're probably going to die. Right? I did recently start sleeping again, which is nice. So, more energy to do stuff. That's how I got so much crap done today. Got up, took the dog out, came downstairs, had some coffee, got the house cleaned up. Get that brain implant and play them while you sleep. Yeah, the only chip I'll ever have, if I ever get one, will be a lead chip, and I'm not getting Neuralink. You agree sleep's for the weak. I don't know what pero soy cansado means. But, no, John called me out earlier for not wanting to refurbish the... how do I do this? How do I add a source? Can I add a source? Maybe if I just do this. Will it do it? We might crash here, folks. If we crash, I'm sorry. Where are we at? Add source. Add existing source. No. Add a new source instead. Let's go to add source. Local file. I want to go browse. Can I go here? This might actually work. Nope, never mind. Okay, I'll have to figure this out. I was gonna show the picture. So, I have a chainmail shirt that I first finished when I was out in Iraq the first time around. And it's made of galvanized steel. And it stinks, and it's a crappy shirt. I did a bad job. It's European 6-in-1. It's really heavy and bulky and unwieldy. And it's like gosh, I'm 80 pounds heavier than I was when I was in the military. Okay, so there's no way it fits, right? But John was trying to convince me earlier to go and work on making it a workable piece. It's been banished to my shed for years now. Not fit for humankind. It's Spanish for "but I'm tired." Yeah. You think estoy cansado because it means I am tired now, and the soy cansado means I'm always tired. The soy cansado is what has been going on with me recently. Like, between migraines and medication and, sleepiness from the side effects of the drugs and the sleep apnea and the no sleep and all of that fun stuff, right? I was exhausted, so finally I have a sleep apnea machine, and when it stays sealed, I have good dreams, and I don't remember my dreams, but I remember dreaming. Jubin says it's both at the same time either work. It's both at the same time? I don't know. My foot's numb. My foot is numb. So, anyway. Yeah, started breathing while I was asleep again. Thanks, sleep apnea machine. It's a really annoying machine, period. I don't care if it saves my life. It will be perpetually annoying. And if it starts leaking on your face, it's just blowing air like right into your cheek or right out the side of your mouth or into your eyeball. That's not fun either. Waking up to that, it's like the inside of your eye is just all dry from having high pressured air blown into it all night. But when it stays sealed and it works and I get good dreams and I have energy to do stuff, so I think that was actually a more severe problem than even I realized for probably 15 years. It's amazing I got as much done as I did in those 15 years. All right, for those of you on the talk, let's see if I can give you an update of what this is looking like. Right, kind of this rope-like weave that it's pretty loose. It's fun. Looks good. These colors are just popping. Soy makes it like a slang. Estoy makes it more formal. I think that's the way to describe it. John says, if you go one of the alien chest burster style ones, it really freaks folks out. One of the alien chest burster style sleep apnea masks. Alright. Mine is just like the jet pilot mask. Soy cansado, I'm tired. Estoy cansado, I'm tired. You send me a pic. Mike said he's got that mask. You got the jet mask? Yeah, buddy. Right on. He's got the jet mask. Okay. You sent me a pic. It's not fair to the audience. I got to figure out how to share it. Let's see here. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Just get a 3D print to go over the jet mask and you got aliens. Yeah, I just saw what John sent me. That's exactly what it is. It's the alien sucker stuck to the face mask over the face. That's hilarious. People have that's how you know people have too much time on their hands, when they have alien sucker sleep apnea masks. But yeah, that thing's been a lifesaver for the most part. My sleep definitely changed when I first got it, and up until it was hit or miss whether or not I had any energy to do anything. And the last couple of weeks, though, I've definitely had a lot more ability to get stuff done throughout the day. You know, without being like, oh, I'm tired, I just want to not do anything. So I can decide to do nothing all day. There's no one here to tell me what to do. So it's nice to have the energy to get stuff done without putting it off and putting it off. It's like I finally got my saddlebags down here. I even brought down my half helmet, because I want to do little spikes around the brim of the helmet, like glue a leather strap to it with little spikes through it, and then like a mohawk strip down the center or something of spikes. We'll see. Right, there's a reason helmets are smooth, and that's so they slide when they, hit the concrete. You're not supposed to add stuff that will get caught by the concrete. The helmet's meant to be dragged across the ground, right? So it's a terrible idea to do this to a helmet. Put spikes on it that could cause a helmet to get stuck in the concrete, and if you jerk your neck the wrong way. Erin Carl, forgot the rest. She is in a bunch of chainmail on her bike here. Yes, she has. Carlstead? I think it's Carlstead. Hello. Is that... So I want to grow up and be like her and have chainmail on my bike. So I got the saddlebags down here. I'm gonna do saddlebags. I'm gonna look at doing the toolkit, and then the half helmet and the bib. So, and then if I ever have the money to get, I don't know what the best option is. It's either get a vinyl printed and get the front fenders and the gas tank wrapped, or do a hydro dip of the front fenders and the gas tank through a chainmail image, right? I don't know what's the best option longevity wise. It's a garage stored bike, so I have heard rumors that vinyl is not as good, but I also have no idea. And one day that'll all be done. I talk a good game right now. I have a lot of good ideas, but until it's done, it's really just ideas. going to use that ring. It's like I think I was mentioning this last night, there's a bike out in Hawaii that's covered in scale mail. I don't remember if there was any chainmail on it, but it's definitely a bunch of scale mail. So, oh, what I was going to say, the spikes on the helmet that are a bad idea, right? I already have my chainmail vest, right? And were I to get into an accident in that, people who run ambulances know that that bikers don't want their leathers cut, right? And there's no place to cut my vest, right? Like, it's a leather vest and it's covered in chainmail, so it's going to be very difficult to get off. And I should probably address that somehow. I haven't figured that part out yet. But, you know, putting spikes on the helmet just adds to the thrill. Do you have absolutely massive red Solo cups, or is that a hard plastic made to look like it? This is a massively red Solo cup filled with water. That's all it is. So, my mommy came to visit, and she didn't like any of our cups many, many years ago. And while they were out grabbing something from the gas station, she found this giant green Solo cup that she left here, and I had for years and years and years. And it finally got a crack in it. And like in the inside the white portion of the cup, there was a crack, and then water was getting into the space between the red and white plastic. And so I had to throw it away. But I went looking for another green Solo cup. I think because I had been using it. It's a great cup, right? I'd been using it for years because my mom had left it here, and it just became like my favorite cup to drink out of. And I think I want to. I don't remember how long I've had these red Solo cups. I could probably look up the order date on Amazon, right? And I don't remember if my mom had passed already when I had to throw the green Solo cup away. So, like I think she was still alive when it broke, and I just enjoyed drinking out of it so much that I went on Amazon. I couldn't find a green one. I could only find a red one. So if you know of like a dark green Solo cup, extra large Solo cup, let me know. You know, it's just a good cup to drink water out of all day. And they come in a 4-pack, so I didn't need 4, but they get used, so. And like I said, I'd have to look at I think I ordered it off of Amazon. I might not have, but I just enjoyed drinking out of the cup, and that's why I ordered more. And I think that it was before my mom passed. I don't remember. All right. See here. We got a red Solo cup and this like pirate skull coffee. It's a beer mug. It's like a large glass skull. My mom got me that. It's a nice cup. And that's actually, speaking of my mom, that's another reason I'm glad that I have this sleep apnea machine, is because my mom's autopsy took a really long time to get done because she passed away in Israel, right, in 2019. And so, as a U.S. citizen, she had to, like, the State Department was involved, and there had to be a autopsy because it's a U.S. citizen dying in a foreign country, and they don't do their embalming methods the same way we do over here. But they did the autopsy, and the results took a long time, so we didn't actually know what had happened. My guess was that she had been on a long flight. She was 59? 57. I don't remember. So she's a little bit older, a little heavier, and she ended up passing away in her sleep after a long flight across the Atlantic Ocean. And so my first thought was, oh, you know what? She developed a blood clot on the plane, and that's what took her out, right? It dislodged while she was sleeping, blah, blah, blah. That was my guess. But according to the autopsy, right, she had a unusual heartbeat. Wilson, Parkinson, White, WPW. I think that's what it was. And basically, her heart just gave out in the middle of the night. So, I know that a lot of people with severe sleep apnea have, they pass away in the middle of the night, right? So hopefully, by having that sleep apnea machine, it will, I will not have that happen. And that's the only, like, that heart condition and diabetes. The only two things that my family has that I'm aware of. It's not like I went and asked them all their medical history or anything, but all of the older people in my family do their aches and pains complaints. Right? You ever get together with your family and they talk about their bowel movements, and last time they went to go visit their doctor? I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there. But, yeah, no, diabetes and a heart condition. All right. I'm not as far along on this as I thought I would be. I thought it would be a little longer. But where are we at? 4.5 inches. It's not bad. I'm sure that someone will come along and say, oh, there's a way to weave this quickly. What's it called? Speed weaving? Slowpoke, yeah. There's a way to speed weave that, and I'm sure there is. Right? Like, you probably just make a strip of 4-in-1, 6 rows wide, and then sew it up. You'd probably get along faster that way. But I've never found much advantage in attempting to go really fast. Right? So, I let other people be fast. It wouldn't be fair if I was good at chainmail, good looking, and also fast. Right? And the green definitely dominates the color scheme on this, but Just the flecks of blue and purple. I like how it's coming out. By far one of the more colorful pieces I've made. Especially recently. Not that round mail isn't a ring hog. Yeah, it is. You gave up looks for mail speed every day. The problem with speed weaving round is if you make, say, an 8-inch strip of V4-1, then got back and close it, it turns out to like a 6 to 7 inch because there's less wiggle room to stretch. For round mail, I like to do the 2 raw with opening 1 and making a band of 4-1, 3 rows wide. Then you don't need to open any raw rings being added, only closing them. Yeah. Well, I like to put on 1 ring at a time and go slow because I don't have a reason for it. I didn't think to try and go faster. You have noticed it shrinks by 1/3 the total length? Yeah. Wow, what is... Something's touching my ear. Something's touching me. Get off me. Ugh. Your 24 gauge, half Persian 3-in-1, you do 1 ring at a time? Yeah. Well, when they're that small, that's another thing too, right? Like, this is 20 gauge 1/8. It's not, anywhere near super tiny. It's not even close to the smallest rings I've woven, right? However, I've been dealing with, like, giant rings. Well, I guess I've done a lot of 20. This is 20 gauge 1/8. I don't have this excuse that I thought I did. This is 20 gauge 1/8, right? This is 20 gauge 1/8 roughly. 20 gauge 1/8, 20 gauge 1/8, and 20 gauge 3/32. What am I saying? This is 20 gauge 1/8. I'm going slow. I'm just slow. I'm just slow. Oh my gosh. That's what it is. The poor viewers gotta watch the turtle mailer on the struggle bus here. So I was going to say I don't use a lot of 20 gauge 1/8 anymore, or haven't been lately, right? Because this is all 18 gauge 1/4 inch. These rings are huge compared to the 20 gauge 1/8. Man, I am a liar. Your jelly, you do a mix of 2 or 1 ring at a time, depending on laying down verticals versus horizontal, or just closing it up for the complete J4-in-1. Inlays, you almost always do 2 rings at a time. Wow. I need to get back to this Finnegan's Wake inlay so that it can get done, right? And maybe we'll do some more of that this week. I've got a couple of busy days here coming up. Mailer Roshi here of the Turtle Hermit School, yeah. Couple of busy days, and then I can spend some time working on the inlay. I want to get I want to get my shed organized. There's stuff in there that belongs in the garage, and there's stuff in the garage that belongs in the shed. And if I get my shoes on and go outside, I can go do that. But if I am inside and I pick up a pair of pliers, I have a tendency not to put my shoes on if I don't have to. So we'll see. I'm going to run out of rings for the inlay. Black and green rings for sure. I should have enough yellow and silver to finish what's on there, but I know I have a limited supply of green rings left, and the black rings are diminishing quite rapidly. So that's probably the next project I'm going to put any money into. And then we'll have the old problem of all the colors don't match. The black should be fine, but the green, like none of the green matches. It's fine. Kind of a theme at this point. Outside bad, indoors warm and cozy. Yeah, it's getting that way, especially lately. I haven't adjusted. I've been in Wisconsin now for 8 years, and I haven't adjusted to anything. The springs are okay, a little wet. The summers are nice. Doesn't really get above 90. And if you get a nice breeze, it can be a really just gorgeous day. It can get a bit humid. That's annoying. But summers are pretty good. Lots of stuff to do. It's okay to be outside. But the winters, they're like 9 months long, and it just gets perpetually worse as time goes on. I do not appreciate living in a place that has, negative 40-degree weather every year. You bought a house to live in it, not find excuses to leave it. Exactly. All my things are here, and the booze. Folks come visit you and play with the shop toys. Yep, that's right. Though we are talking about me just going out to my shed. Tonight's movie was Hellboy 2, by the way. It's not on any streaming service. You have and don't think you own it, so you're watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That is with Smee. What is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. So the actor who plays Smee in Hook is also the actor who played the main character in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And a lot of I saw a video on the camera work on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it was pretty cool how they add the cartoons into everything. Bob Hoskins, that's the name I'm looking for. Not the dip. Did I say? Sometimes I talk and I look up the comments and I don't know what people are responding to because I'm slow. Got a good brain. It just processes things at about 10 megabytes a minute. Roger Rabbit, the dip in the movie for Melting Tunes. Oh, okay. That's who framed him. I can't believe I remembered Bob Hoskins' name. I'm terrible with actors' names. Unless you're Henry Cavill. I'm not gay, but it's Henry Cavill. All right, where are we at here? Oh, it's 10:03. Look at the time. All righty, everyone. So this is what we've made tonight. It's a round mail niobium piece that we're going to hopefully extend into a necklace. We're at 5 inches right? We still got a decent chunk of rings left. We'll see how this plays out. It might end up only being a choker for someone with a small neck. But looks like a Mardi Gras necklace, really. Mardi Gras beads, green, blue, and purple. And I know my camera's not quite picking up the colors in this, but it does look nice. I'll take pictures and maybe do a video later. But, okay. Flip this camera here. Alright. If you like what you see and you want to learn more about chainmail, if you go to the link in the link tree, or if you go to the link tree in my bio, you will find the Mailworks app, which you can download and has a bunch of resources for people who are interested in learning more about chainmail and like where to get rings, where to find tutorials, different groups of people that talk about chainmail and stuff. And it's a helpful app. It also has a link to my store, mailworks.com, where you'll find all the chainmail themed apparel and accessories that your heart would desire. So please go check those out. If you like what you see, go check out my store. Get yourself something nice. Christmas is coming up. You deserve a gift from yourself to yourself. And I will, I don't know when I'll be on next, but I've been streaming nightly for a couple days now, so hopefully we can be on here and get a lot of good stuff done. Ooh, that color. There you go. That's picking up the color on the front camera. Oh, well, maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. Yeah, so go to mailworks.com, pick yourself out something nice, and all of you have a great rest of your Veterans Day weekend. And I will talk to you all soon. Don't forget to like, follow, share. Right? If you don't have money to go to a store, like, following, and sharing is free. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers so I don't have to use my phone as a camera anymore. All right? You all have a wonderful evening. All right. And to everyone else, thank you for stopping by. Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, he's a bad guy. Good old Doc Brown and the Judge. Or a bracelet for someone with large wrists. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'll probably have to count out rings on this one, but alright guys, thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate you being here. If you don't already have the Mailworks app installed on your phone, you can go to mailworks.com. There is a section where you can download the app from. Be sure to check it out. Check out mailworks.com. And I will, when you hold it up to the camera, try holding your hand behind it to force the camera to, I mean, you mean the overhead camera, right? I'd have to adjust the zoom on that one. But, oh, the front camera on my phone? Oh, on my phone. I'm slow. Yeah, I've already ended that one, so. But, anyway. Go check out mailworks.com. Get yourself something nice for the holidays, and I will talk to you all later. All right? You guys have a wonderful evening.